This lesson is on mean, median, and mode. It's lesson 2 in Mod 6. Many of you have seen this material, but even if you haven't, it's nice and straightforward, so let's rock on. Average / mean means you add up the value and divide by how many values there are. And we do this a lot when we're grading. The median is if you order the data from smallest to largest, you're going to pick the middle number. And if there are two numbers in the middle, you're going to pick the number between them or average them. And the mode is the data value that repeats the most. You might have a couple that repeat. In case if there were two that repeats, it's bimodal. More than that, it's multimodal. And you may have no mode if none of the data values repeat. So let's do the first one. Okay. Barney opens 10 bags of M&Ms, and the following represents the number of candies in each bag. Find the average, median, and mode for this data set. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to order the data from smallest to largest. So here we go. And I'm going to write it downward. 10, 11, 11, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14, 15, and 15. This will help me organize. So average, I'm going to add. And divide by the number of data values, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, because that's the number of values. Okay, so when I add these suckers up, it turns out to be 126. So I'm going to take 126 and divide by 10, and that will give me, I just have to move the decimal point over, 12.6 is the average. Okay, here's the deal, you guys. This number 12.6 should be within these data values, kind of in the middle, and it kind of is. It's between 12 and 13, so we're psyched. It's a reasonable answer. The median it's the middle of the data set. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to put a slash here for the median. Okay, so there's 5 data values. Now there's really 2 middle numbers here, 12 and 13. So I'm going to pick the number directly in between them. So the median will be 12 plus 13 divided by 2. So when I do that, I get 25 divided by 2, which is 12.5. And you're like, well, I could see it was 12.5 just to look at it. And yes, you can do that if you need to. This is the long way to do it. And last but not least, the mode on this. The mode is the data value that occurs the most. And in this case, lucky number 11. So the mode is 11. So we have that. Okay, next slide. All right, same thing with this. We're going to do the same thing as we did on the first example. First, I'm going to order it from smallest to largest. 16, 17, 20, 23, 25, 26, 27. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 data values. Add these suckers up. I'm going to get 154. So for my average, I'm going to take 154 and divide it by the number of data values, which is 7. This one is nice, 22. So the average is 22, and I look at my data values, yeah, looking pretty good. 22 is in between these two. It's right in the data set. I'm not getting anything like 150 or 270 or anything. There it is. The median, I love this one because the median can be read right off the data set. If you think about it, 23 is smack dab in the middle. 3 are above it, 25, 26, 27, and 3 are below it, 20, 17, 16. So the median is 23. And nothing repeats. So we say there's no mode. You have to write the words no mode. Don't write 0 because that means the number 0 is the mode. Next slide. Now this is just like a little bit of application of average. Barney got 74, 80, and 81 on 3 tests. 74, 80, and 81. What does he need to get on the 4th test to make his average 80? Okay, so to get an average, I'm going to add up all these values and divide by 4. And I want that average to be equal to 80. So there's my equation. X is score on 4th test. Beautiful. So here we go. So we're going to clear the fraction. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. So it'll be 320 because 80 times 4 is 320. And if I add these up, I will get 235 plus x. These 4's wombat, they divide it out. When I add 74, 80, and 81, I get 235. Now I just have to solve for x by subtracting 235 from both sides. So x is equal to 85. Good? There we go. So he has to get an 85 in order to get an 80 average. The 74 killed him. So, next slide. Did you ever want to know how to figure out your GPA? Well, I'm going to tell you, and we're going to round to the nearest hundredth. That means 2 decimal places. Perfect. So here's Barney the student, and college math he got an A, English he got a B, biology got a B, and social studies he got a C. So we assign at colleges point values of the grade. So if he got an A, he gets 4 points, B 3, another B 3, and he got a C in social studies. Okay, then we're going to do the point value times the credit hours, because if you have more credit hours, it counts more towards your GPA than, let's say, a half a credit would not count the same as a course that would be 4 credit hours. So we're going to multiply these. We'll get 16, 9, 12, and 6. So when I add those up, I'm going to get 43. When I add the credit hours up, 7 and 7 is 14. And then all I have to do is divide these. It's really nice. 14 into 43. And we want to go out and round to the nearest hundredths, which means I have to go out an extra 1,000 to the thousands place. So when I do 14, goes in 3 times, that's 42. You can do this on your calculator, but let's face it, it's not as much fun. Doesn't go in. So 0, 10, bring down. Goes in 7 times, 98. Bring down. 14 goes into 20 once. I can stop because I'm going to round to the nearest hundredths. So Barney has a GPA of 3.07. Not bad. Okay, now you'll be able to do the written work as well as the My Math Lab assignment. Good luck, and ask questions if you need to.